to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And indeed, this is a live news show for movie fans, where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, including Madame Web arrives, guys, and it's not good. Madame Web, it stinks. And we're going to talk about that in just a few moments, but we'll also take a look at what else is opening up this weekend. Joker 2 teaser trailer revealed for the release date, just the release date, guys, but Megan 2 delayed. Oh God, say it's not so. Come on, you know, I like Megan. Whatever. We'll talk about that. Will Smith gets a new project. Knox Goes Away drops a trailer, and Rings of Power Season 2 promises to be more dark and gritty. Viper in the live chat says, hey, how's it going, Viper? Welcome. Come on in. It's Thursday, February 15th already. Wow. And we're doing some live movie news. Now, we got to catch up a little bit here. Let's just give in and talk a little bit about the Fantastic Forecast news that broke like 2 days ago. But really, guys, this news broke like months ago. So it's kind of like, we kind of knew that Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Eben Moss, Backrack, and Joseph Quinn were going to be in the cast because nobody else was being batted around. I think some diehards still wanted Emily Blunt and John Krasinski, but Marvel came out and posted this thing on the Instagram, and everybody's kind of like, whoa, this is a period piece. Look at the robot. Look at the magazine that they're reading. Like, it shows that it's in the 60s or whatever. Epic cast to possible 1960s setting. And I got to tell you, I got nothing against the cast. I know Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things, and Pedro Pascal, I think, is going to be fine as Mr. Fantastic. Vanessa Kirby will be great as well. It's just kind of, guys, I just don't know how this is going to fit into the MCU. If you're starting it back in the 60s, are you saying that what happens to them in the 60 years up to 2020, right? Do they get frozen in time or something? Do they go through a wormhole? Because if you're wanting them to be part of the MCU going forward, having them back in the 60s, you're going to have some kind of time event, right? There's really not much to talk about. This is why I didn't get on the camera and talk about this when it broke, because it was kind of like, well, we knew this as movie fans, but I wanted to let you know where I weighed with this subject, guys. I think it's going to be somewhat, hopefully, fine, because as we look at the upcoming schedule that Marvel has released, let's take a look at when this is supposed to come out. For 2024, there's not much. The first Omen, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be a comic book movie, and is that about it from Disney? Okay. Alien Romulus I'm looking forward to. But when does this come out? They're still thinking that Blade's going to come out next year. Guys, I am not optimistic about that. I don't think it's going to happen. I still think Blade may not happen. Thunderbolts got moved up like a couple of weeks, right? But they still got Avengers Kang Dynasty on here for 2026. A bunch of Star Wars stuff in 2026. Avengers Secret Wars in 2027. And then I think you guys got to go for a hard reboot. So Fantastic Four 2025. What did they say? That Fantastic Four and Superman come out in the same month? Yeah, Superman's going to... It should trounce it. It should trounce it because... the MCU needs some time to bounce back. Now, the Thunderbolts, I don't know, man. Deadpool 3 is our best hope. And then if Blade ever comes around, maybe that one will be interesting to watch. Yeah, Snow White got pushed on that next year as well. The live action Moana. I don't know, guys. I'm not really all of that excited about it. Like, I'm not hyped. And that's another reason why I didn't get on and broadcast my excitement for it. Because I just, like, the MCU just totally burned me out, man. And it's kind of like, you got to give us something good, and hopefully Deadpool 3 will put us back on track. But I kind of like, we may just go back into the ground once Thunderbolts comes out, guys, because it'll be kind of like, Thunderbolts is made under the old regime still. I know they're supposed to start shooting Thunderbolts like soon, like in the next month or so, because that's where Florence Pugh just said that she's going down. After Florence Pugh's done press tours for Doom Part 2, she's going down to Georgia to start shooting Thunderbolts. So that is going under. That's going to get underway. I'm just not that excited for it, man. And maybe that'll turn around once Fantastic Four. We need to know who's playing Doctor Doom. And I'm going to throw a name out there that not a lot of people have talked about it, because people have said that maybe it's going to be Mads Mikkelsen. Cillian Murphy would be a name that would be kind of like, well, Cillian Murphy could do it. But I'm going to throw somebody out here that may not come to Bell right away. May not come to mind right away, but you know who could play an interesting Doctor Doom? This man, Gerard Butler. Give him something to sink his teeth into as a villain, because if you're going to start him off as somebody that you kind of sympathize with, Gerard Butler can do that. But then, to see him take on more kind of like a villainous role, that'd be kind of cool. Why not? And we need Gerard Butler, right? He's always cool. I like Gerard Butler as an actor. I'm sorry. Even in that horrible Phantom of the Opera. And I liked Airplane last year. He's still putting out stuff, and I think he's good. And he's going to be in that live action How to Train Your Dragon as the father. So I think, yeah, that's my name for Doctor Doom. Why not? Yeah. I think he could do it. And that would be an interesting choice. Who is your choice for Doctor Doom? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Okay, guys, as I said, we are a live news show, so if you want to follow me on all the other social media handles, take a look there. On TikTok and Instagram, we publish some behind-the-scenes stuff of me going to the movies and stuff like that on the stories pages and stuff. You get a little glimpse here and there of me playing the guitar and stuff. But, guys, it's time to talk about the main topic, Madame Web. And I'm going to have a short coming out about this later on today as well. Because I just want to, I'm not trying to milk it, but I kind of do want to talk about it some more. So let me just get ready here for my official movie review. All right. Madame Web is in theaters right now, guys, and I gotta tell you, is it a good movie? No, it's not a good movie. Is it a terrible, one of the worst movies of the year? Stink it up? Well, that's what a lot of people are going to be telling you, and it's hard to argue with some of their points. The problem with me, guys, is I've seen a lot of movies. I am a big movie fan. So while some people have not gone out and seen movies like Argyle or Lisa Frankenstein, Night Swim, then if like Madame Web is one of the 5 movies you see of the year, then yes, Madame Web is going to be one of the worst movies of the year. Unfortunately, I see a lot of movies, guys. Madame Web is not one of the movies out there that is one of the worst movies of the year, despite the tomato meter readings of 15%, 59% by the audience. Indeed, that is some low ratings. And, well, we'll take a look at the snapshot reviews here in a moment. But I am pretty much like everybody else where I don't know why this movie was made. If it's not going to be ever connected to Spider-Man, then I don't know what's the point going forward. And people say, well, James, Joker worked well with Joaquin Phoenix. Is that not the same case here? Definitely not. Because while Dakota Johnson is a good actress, so is Sydney Sweeney and all the other girls that are in the film with her. I'm intrigued with these other characters, but it's kind of like the dialogue and the script really lets them down. And I think I have to fault the directing for this from S.J. Clarkson, who, when I go and look at her resume, she has a lot of credits that are TV credits. And this is her first big, well, movie. And while you do have some stuff under your belt, TV wise, I think I would have preferred to see her start off with something a little bit smaller, like an indie project. Of course, if somebody calls her up and says, "Hey, direct this big movie, Madame Web," as in, well, if somebody in your career, you say, "Yes, I'm going to do that." The thing is that because you're new to the big game, you're going to get walked all over by executives, and I think that is proved when you watch this movie. I talk about this in the short that's going to get published later on too, about the writers that just seem to be failing upwards. When you make a stinker, like when you write something like Gods of Egypt or Morbius, let's give you another one. Let's give you another big project to work on. Oh, this person also wrote The Last Witch Hunter, that terrible and awful movie with Vin Diesel that just, I'll talk about sticking up the box office. I don't understand this concept in Hollywood where if you fail, let's give you another one, but even more, with more money involved in it. It's like, what? Why? How? How does this person still get work? It's frustrating, and I want to pull my hair out, and I'm with everybody on board that when you watch the opening and you're like, this is terrible dialogue. But oddly enough, I would say that it was the opening of the movie that started off really strong for Madame Web, despite that clunky dialogue. It sets things up perfectly in a standard 3-act kind of structure. This is the first act. Here's our main players. Here's the bad guy. Okay, here's the scenario. Now here's the rest of the movie. And it's kind of like, that's a cohesive narrative, guys. That's at least an arc of some kind where you're looking at the story wheel and you're trying to fit it all in, and that's a cohesive narrative. Now, the narrative in this movie sucks, but it's kind of like, I can't fault it for that. So if somebody said that they enjoyed it, okay, I can understand perhaps why, but I was like, I didn't hate this movie, but I'm also never going to watch this movie ever again. That's what you need to know going in. Now, let's go over to the preliminary score sheet and fill in some numbers here and see where we're aiming at here. Acting, directing, story are out of a possible 2 points each. Cinematography and score are out of a possible 1 point. Now, cohesively overall, guys, I would give acting a full 1 point. I'm going to give directing. I'm going to give directing a 1 point. Sorry, just had to mess that up. I'm faulting the directing for a lot of the way that the story unfolded, but I know you could tell that there was a lot of studio interference in this one. The story overall, her as a character is interesting, with her being able to see the future and stuff like that, and change course and stuff like that. That opens up like a minefield of like really interesting ideas that you could go down for, like explore where does this foresight, what are the implications of all that? That's a fascinating thing. So I'd just give middle of the road there for scores. Cinematography and score, they were serviceable. So we're sitting around at 4. Now, we haven't done the watchability factor yet. Right now, we're sitting 4 out of 10. That's higher than Lisa Frankenstein. I think that's about the same ballpark as what Night Swim was, right? So is it the worst movie of the year by default? No, it's not, guys. It's not. So let's go over to the tomato meter and see if we can try to wrap this up with some kind of cohesive watchability factor. Obviously, if you're a Dakota Johnson fan, you're going to check this out. If you are Sydney Sweeney, which I am, if you're a Sydney Sweeney fan and you want to see some of her work, you've never seen her do anything before, then this will be for you. To go out and say, oh, okay. I highly doubt that there's any Madame Web fans out there that'll be like, oh, I'm sure that there's got to be at least 20 of them in North America. Right? Let's take a look at what some of the snapshot reviews say. From Slate, who liked it. It's a travesty, a disaster, blight on the history of superheroes and cinema itself. I enjoyed the hell out of it. So even when somebody liked it, they said that, yeah, it's not good. Like the ingredients seem to say that it could be good, but it's just in its execution fails. New York Times, Madame Web is a dud, but it's one that Johnson transcends long before the final credits roll. And there's no mid-credit scene or anything like that, guys, so don't stick around for that. Screen Crush, it doesn't take a clairvoyance to see this franchise has no future. Okay, that's where I want to stop for a second here, guys. This is a movie where the bandwagon of like hate is just going to surround, and it's going to be like the knee-jerk reaction of every kind of reviewer out there to be kind of like, well, it sucks. So that's what people want to hear, even without seeing the movie, and that's on us as movie fans. Well, you haven't seen it, but I want to be part of this bandwagon that seems to be really rolling, and it's so much fun to trash this movie, guys. Trust me, I've seen terrible and bad movies. Madame Web is not the horrible monstrosity that some of you or some of these people will want to. And I'm not like some of them people out there. Yes, you're entitled to have your own opinions, but I'm not somebody who will just blindly follow the trend of trashing something. Trust me, I trash my fair share of movies. Go and watch my reviews for Lisa Frankenstein, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. When a movie doesn't have a cohesive circle, when the acting is so hammy and over the top, and the directing is so choppy, trust me, I pick movies apart. This is what I do. So when I say that it's not as bad as some people say, it's not great either. I'll concede that it's not great. But it's kind of like, it's not the monstrosity that some people will have you believe. So let's wrap this up. Let's go over and fill in my watchability factor and see where this stands. So as I said, if you got curiosities about the cast, if you got curiosities about Sony and like you liked Morbius and you liked Venom and you want to see Kraven the Hunter and you want to know where this is going to land, then this is worth maybe checking out once. If you want to see why people are saying it's so terrible, then maybe it's worth checking out. So it's all middle of the road for me, 5 out of 10. And I think that's probably where I'm going to stand with Madame Web. Because as I said, I didn't hate it, but I'm never probably going to watch this movie again. I can't fathom a reason why I would sit down and watch Madame Web ever again. 5 out of 10. I'd like to see her show up in other movies, but I don't know if it's not going to do well at the box office. It's going to go up against Bob Marley, One Love, which also is being not treated fairly well by the critics, but the audiences seem to be resonating with it. So Madame Web, guys, 5 out of 10. What do you guys think? Do you agree with some of the things that I've said? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. People have already said that, oh, I'm somebody who likes a bad movie. Hey, remember, it's all subjective. I'll give you good reasons why I don't like something and why I do like something and why I give some things a pass. But yeah, bad dialogue in here for sure. And you'll know that when you first start watching like the first opening scene with the ambulance. You'll understand. But there's some interesting ideas in there. There's a scene in there where she's like having a vision of her mother, and I started to feel it in here. So it does have some redeeming qualities in there. It just wasn't executed all that well overall. All right, that's all I got for Madame Web, guys. What did you think about it? If you like this kind of stuff, come join us here on Mirror Domains, because aside from movie reviews like that for like Lisa Frankenstein and Madame Web, we've got trailer reactions for things like Kong and Godzilla, the new Empire trailer that just dropped, Deadpool and Wolverine trailer, Millie Bobby Brown's new movie, Damsel, new trailer reactions up on there for Wicked, Ariana Grande, A Quiet Place Day 1 trailers, and we watch full movies like Society of Snow, and of course we do movie news throughout the week, where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day. Hey, if you like movies and all this kind of stuff, come join us here on Mirror Domains. You'll like what I have to say, because I'm fair. I'm fair at least, right? Yes? No? Yes? See you next time, right here on Mirror Domains. All right, so that'll be cut out and put up on the channel later on. Now, bring up the chat. I think only Bifer's here right now. So you said my choice. James' reaction to Madame Web, pain, misery, and dread. Yeah. But Madame Web gave us a good opportunity to examine exactly what's going on here with the zeitgeist of just kind of like that bandwagon hate of just kind of like, why are you trashing a movie if you've never seen it before, dudes? If you've never seen the movie, because it's the popular thing to do. But come on. It's something that just gets under my skin when you see this kind of like, well, if you want to be popular, James, you got to come out and say that the movie's terrible and awful and one of the worst things that you've ever seen all year. But that's not true. Lisa Frankenstein and Night Swim are much more terrible than this. So, yeah, it's a good time to examine the kind of like the knee-jerk responses from some people, the casual fan bases that are just like, I don't mean to step on anybody's fingers there with that. It's just, hey, we got to call it as it is. So, let's get back into the movie news headlines here. Let's talk about what else is opening up this week, and it's Bob Marley. One Love destroys Madame Web at the box office. Did the Marvel movie see that one coming? Now, we looked at the tomato meter while we did our review for Madame Web. 42% by critics, 95% by the audience, and I still may go out and see this on the weekend or maybe on Family Day on Monday when I got some free time. Because I do like the cast. Kingsley Ben-Adir, Lashana Lynch. Yeah, she's awesome. I kind of want to just go and enjoy the music. The music. Globe and Mail. Although One Love is not a great music biopic, it serves as an acceptable portrait of the man. Okay, so it's not going to be about the music? Oh, that kind of bums me out. Amy Nicholson. New York Times. It lauds the Marley of dormitory posters, a snapshot of a lifestyle hero who is always the coolest guy in the room. At the most, the movie takes his image from flat to lenticular. Oh, Jesus. If you never go to see a Marley movie, Kingsley Ben-Adir is a fine simulacrum. Big words, guys. Yeah, you were a journalist student, weren't you, Amy Nicholson? You can tell by the way that she writes. It's just for the higher, more educated people, James. Get out of here. Give it to me simple with these. Like, I don't expect those big kinds of words in the snapshot reviews. It's just kind of like, ugh. An agreeable but not heavily portrait of Marley emerges. I am intrigued by it. I just, and they say that it beat the box office for Madame Web on its opening day. I don't know. Let's see. Did they got the Tuesdays numbers up yet? Or Wednesdays? No, they don't have Wednesdays up. But they say that it has. Where will it land over the weekend here? No, those two movies are going to have like 5 days to put in numbers, guys. So this is from last week. Obviously, Argyle's and everything is going to get bumped down 2 spots. It's just, will Madame Web have enough curiosity out there for people to go out and see it that will make it surpass Bob Marley? I don't know. I think the bad word of mouth surrounding Madame Web at 15% and 59% by the audience is going to be enough people to make people say, eugh. Like even me in my straight out of the theater reaction, I say, guys, you can wait for streaming on this one. The Bob Marley one, it seems like while the critics didn't like it, audience members did. So that tells me that as a casual person, casual fan, you may have more enjoyment to go out and see Bob Marley. So I'll say that the Bob Marley one will be number 1. Madame Web will be number 2. I just don't know how much money they're going to rake in with the 5 days. Could be in the $20 million marks. I don't even think Madame Web will make 15. It could. I don't know. I just don't know. But they'll be number 1 and number 2. So Argyle and I don't even think Lisa Frankenstein will make. I think Beekeeper will be number 4. And then I think it'll be Wonka. I think Lisa Frankenstein is just going to go, and it should, because that truly is one of the worst movies of the year. What's this? Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. What? Did they get a re-release in theaters or something? 50% by critics, 84% by the audience. I like the movie. Why is that trending right now? Curious. Anyway, is that getting a theatrical release? I don't know. Just watch don't watch the extended cut though. They added in a bunch of extra scenes in there. Frankenstein. Okay, guys. 50% by critics, 83 by the audience. I can't. Yeah, I've said that movie's terrible. So yeah, I think that'll drop out of the top 5. Dune may get a small resurgence. I don't know. Like Dune Part 1, they've re-released it. We'll have to see how that goes. But that's what's opening up this weekend, guys. What do you think? Which one are you going to go see? Are you going to go see Madame Web or the Bob Marley? Let's continue on. Joker 2 teaser announced. Joker Folie à Deux director shares new images for Valentine's Day. And new images. Okay, there's Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, and of course Joaquin Phoenix as Joker. I think I can't wait for this movie. It's one of my most anticipated because I just can't wait to see this iteration of Harley Quinn. I'm more interested in Harley Quinn in this one than I am Joker because we know what Joaquin can do with the character, and so I expect more. Do I expect an Academy Award-winning performance from him this time around? No, but I hope that at least Lady Gaga will have an Academy Award-winning performance, just to see where it goes. And I think they're going to spark and look at what she's doing there. God, she's a beautiful woman, isn't she? She's stunning. I like Lady Gaga, one of my favorite performers and artists. So Beats, Zazie Beats said in an interview recently, I think people will be surprised. I think it's going to be what they expect around it being a musical. Well, sort of expressed musically by and dancing in our lives day to day. I think it's going to work out really well. Okay. Well, we got some new images, and we've got the teaser that Todd Phillips says is been getting that question a lot. The movie comes out in October, so our first teaser won't be out until mid-April. Mid-April for a Joker 2 teaser. So we got March. We got about 2 months away now. Yeah, because we're 15th of February here. So 2 months away from our first teaser of Joker 2. Keep my eyes peeled for that one. Megan 2 delay. Bummer, man. No, whatever. It was supposed to come out like next January or something, right? Megan 2 release date has been pushed back to later in 2025. The release date of Megan 2, 4 months. So it'll be later in 2025. It was supposed to come out January, right? But now it's May 16th. May 16th, 2025. Hollywood Reporter. Yeah, it was supposed to be January 17th. But, I know that there's a script and all the cast is coming back, but I didn't hear anything about, the production start dates for this, so it's kind of like they should be working on it now. Megan didn't cost that much money to make, and it did resonate with the fans. It did have a fan base where people were kind of like, what are we watching here? Oh, God, that's gross. Don't do that kind of thing, reaction, right? And I still hope that they set up like a Chucky versus Megan's versus movie somewhere down the lines. I was not happy that they were bringing back the original cast because it's kind of like, guys, don't rinse and repeat, because rinse and repeat is kind of like what did in a lot of the franchises like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Final Destinations kind of stuff, where Saw franchise, where it's just kind of like, well, it's the same thing but different people. Well, it's like, well, guys, this is the same thing but with the same people. It's kind of like, well, evolve it, do something different with it, like Barcelona Bird Box or Quiet Day Place 1. Do something different with the Megan doll, because it's a robot and would show up in other people's homes and stuff like that. I don't know, there's a different scenario where it could play out. We'll have to see. But it got delayed 4 months, now coming out May 2025, guys. May 16th. Megan 2. Are you anticipating it? Are you going, ooh, I want to see that? Hopefully it'll be rated R, but probably not. Horror films, though. The first Omen and Abigail will be rated R. Good. The first Omen should be. And Abigail is that one from Radio Silence, right? The guys who did Scream 5 and 6, which will both be released in April. So maybe the Joker 2 teaser will be attached to one of these. Maybe it will be. Omen, prequel to the horror classic The Omen, 2 weeks later on April 19th. So Omen is April 19th and Abigail is April 5th. Okay. Both rated R. So I can read you the synopsis. And I've watched the trailers for them. I like the trailers for Abigail, but it looks very much like, not, what did I say? Let the Right One In mixed with Ready or Not kind of thing, where it's kind of like, ooh, here's a person that's taking care of this younger vampire kind of thing and bringing victims. But it's a dinner party, so it's kind of like, oh, okay, kind of thing. It's got an interesting cast. Abigail does. And it's even from the producer of Ready or Not, so it's kind of like in that same wheelhouse, right? But Melissa Barrera, Dan Stevens, Catherine Newton is in it, which I'm looking forward to, because while I despised Elisa Frankenstein, she was not the reason why I didn't like it. It was the script and everything else. So she's going to be a victim in this movie. There she is right there. She's a good actress, guys, and she's going to have a bright future ahead of her. What you want with a bad movie, when you make a bad movie, you want it just to kind of come out, fly under the radar, and then move on to the next project. You don't want to have it explode like Madame Web is going to explode with hatred. And then that'll jeopardize your future works. Catherine Newton will be fine. Dakota Johnson should be fine. Sydney Sweeney's going to be fine. But like everybody else attached to Madame Web and Lisa Frankenstein are going to be kind of like, yuck. Anyway, Melissa Barrera, yes. The first Omen, now that one, to me, when I watch the trailers for that one looks like it has the more potential to be kind of like that serious tone of like dark and atmospheric kind of like creepiness to it. And I dig that. So the first Omen, that's the one I think is going to have maybe potentially be more scary. Yeah, here we go. The first Omen will be more scary, while Abigail will be kind of like that cheeky kind of like, yeah, it's horror, but it's also kind of like fun type of horror kind of thing, right? Where they get killed and stuff like that in fun ways, and it's kind of like, yeah, you're kind of rooting for them to get killed by the young vampire girl. I'll have to see. Both rated R. Coming out in April. Looking forward to it. Well, what's this? I get a message? It's just TikTok. Let's talk about Will Smith. Yes, he's ramping up his career again, coming out, getting involved in more projects. Because it's about time. It's been more than 2 years now, and it's kind of like, okay, fine. Will, it's time. Yeah, people forgive. Now, he's going to be in something called Sugar Bandits, a crime thriller from the novel Devils in Exile. I think it has to do with something about like World War art hoarders or something. Sugar Bandits screenplay focuses on Neil Maven, who returns from Iraq War. Okay, it's from Iraq War, with little job prospects, and teams up with other soldiers to steal from local drug dealers. Oh, kind of like a Substitute scenario. Like, you remember that movie, Substitute, but with Will Smith. Smaller movie, maybe, perhaps. Sugar Bandits. Yeah, rebuild that way, Will. Yeah, stay away from the Oscar baity stuff for now. Just build up your fan base again. Well, so we can welcome you back. I think most people are ready to welcome you back. I am. So it's kind of like, let's get back on it, and I'll keep my eye on it. There's no release date or anything like that, but yeah, we'll see when that goes. Sugar Bandits, Will Smith getting back on track. What do you guys think about that? Do you want to see him back? And we know that he's got that, and they're working on another Bad Boys movie, right? So, yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Talk about that trailer that dropped the other day for Knox Goes Away with Michael Keaton directing and starring in. Wow. When a contract killer has a rapidly evolving form of dementia, he is offered an opportunity to redeem himself by saving the life of the adult son with whom he had been estranged. Al Pacino, James Marsden, Marcia Gay Harden. Good cast. Really good cast. And I got to tell you, the trailer for Knox Goes Away starts off really dark. Like, guys, these are brightened images here. I've adjusted the brightness. The trailer itself on the screen that I'm looking at it's dark. But I do like Al Pacino and I like Michael Keaton. And basically, it looks like this guy was like a special operative or something. So he's got a special set of skills. But then he gets diagnosed with this dementia kind of thing where it's kind of like, dude, you only have not a lot of time before it takes you. And then he says something here in the office room where it's kind of like it sets the tone. And maybe we can play that clip right here for you guys because I like Michael Keaton can play menacing. He's really good at playing bad guys. He really is. Um, let's see what he says here.
How much time do I have?
Weeks, not months. I'm sorry.
That's okay, Doc. Even if I hated you for telling me, I'd forget soon enough.
Yeah. So he said, even if I hated you for telling me, or it's kind of like I would forget soon enough. And it's kind of like he's kind of accepted his fate. So you kind of like know that it's kind of like there's nothing more dangerous than a man with nothing to lose, kind of thing, right? And then, of course, the main crux of the story comes in where it seems like James Marsden is playing his son, who kills somebody out of passion, somebody who mistreated his daughter or something like that. He goes and kills him. So he asks his dad, Michael Keaton, to come in and try to, clean it all up and stuff. But he's starting to lose it up here, man, because of his condition. And so he's kind of like not like he's trying to rely on the skills that he has to do stuff like this because that's what he used to do, right? But it's kind of like his mind starts to play tricks on him, and it's kind of like, are you lying to me? No, I just told you like a few minutes ago that this is the way that it's going to be. So it's kind of like he's slowly losing it, and he's trying to get this mission done, like clean things up for his son before he actually, loses his mind. So it looks like it's a very interesting project. And as I said, I like Michael Keaton, I like Al Pacino, James Marsden, good cast, Marcia Gay Harden. I thought the trailer looked great. An original story with an incredible cast. More like this, please. Well, unfortunately, you can say that, but you have to go to the movie theaters and see it, guys. It is going to be in theaters. Two legends, Al Pacino and Michael Keaton together, and directed by Keaton himself. I'm bloody in, people. And with James Marsden as a protege, not his protege, it's his son. Michael K. And Pacino, I'm in. So you got Pacino fans in there. He gets nuts. Batman quote there. So when does it come out, guys? March 15th. Oh, beware the Ides of March for Knox Goes Away. Intriguing, guys. I'll be checking out that. That will be on my radar. Did you watch the trailer for Knox Goes Away? Very intrigued about it. Let's talk about Rings of Power. I liked the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power Season 1, even though it really did have a bad start. Like the first couple of episodes are rough, but the last part of the season, it did pick up for me, and it did have some really good payoffs. Kind of like trying to figure out the mystery of who is this guy? Is he Gandalf, or is he Sauron? Is he Saruman? Who is he? It's kind of like, I like that game, and I like figuring things out. The production values were good, and I liked Morvith Clark as Galadriel, despite other people saying that she was terrible. So they are underway filming this, right? I thought it was already done for some reason. I thought they were allowed. The new season will delve deeper into characters and explore surprising twists and turns, aiming for a more gritty and authentic feel. Can Rings of Power 2 dispel the trolls? The thing is that, yes, just like Madame Web, Rings of Power had that kind of like bandwagon, kind of like, uh, ooh, the big influencer doesn't like it, so I don't like it either, kind of thing. Well, did you watch it? No, but I don't like it. It's like what? It's like that kind of thing. Um, it's, as I said when I first started talking about it, it's got a rough start, and some shows take 2 or 3 seasons to find its footing as to what it exactly is. I just like that world, and I like Morvith Clark, and I like the other kind of uh, elf guy. I forgot his name. I'll have to revisit it. I'll have to gloss over the season again before season 2 comes out to get refreshed, because it has been a while. Um, I watched them all over the Christmas because it just the cuts, yeah. So I liked it, and I liked the reveal at the end of who was Sauron and who was, he's going to go to Mount Doom now and create the ring. So I kind of like that. I want to see where that goes, because we kind of know where it goes. He'll get thwarted at the end of the series, I guess, right? The humans and the elves will come and um, fight him, and it will be basically the prologue of what Fellowship of the Ring started off as, right? Like that's where I expect it to end. And I liked, you know what? I like the dwarf story in Rings of Power. I totally forgot about that. About finding the mithril and stuff, right? That stuff was just really cool stuff, and the dynamic he was bouncing off of uh, there with the Rivendell guy. What's the heck is his name? Anyway, I forgot. But yeah, I liked it a lot. So it'll be dirtier and gritty. Um, season 2 is expected. Well, I thought it was going to be 2024, but I'm thinking more 2025. Sometime towards the end of season of 2024. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Take your time with it. That's what I say. Because you can't turn it around. You come out with season 2 and it blows people away. You'll get people on board, and you'll go back and realize that they were setting stuff up in season 1 that was actually fairly well executed. All right. Guys, I know that I'm running through things a little bit fast today. It's just I have to eat and go out to a meeting like around 1 p.m. So it's kind of like we're going to be done right at the 11:30 mark today. Let's go on to some hit or miss. The Marvels originally had an ending that featured a major death scene. Now, I compared Madame Web to the Marvels because of the chemistry of the three of them running around. I like the team dynamic in the Marvels, and I like the team dynamic in Madame Web. Now, the headline obviously caught me on this one. So, who is the major death? Well, it was supposed to be Brie Larson. Apparently, according to this, there was another ending that we did film where Brie and myself are kind of in space and having it out, and they kind of combust together, which was really amazing. We were talking about Zawe Ashton there, the bad guy, who I liked, by the way. I liked Zawe Ashton as the villain in it. I just wish they didn't kill her, because you could have had her come back and wreak more havoc. Why not? I liked it, but yeah, so there was a version where she gets exploded or something. Now, obviously, they can't do that because I want to see this version of Miss Marvel hand her powers over to Rogue. That's the one. That's one I wanted to see come into fruition, but we'll have to see how that goes. Next. Godzilla Minus One director is interested in making a sequel with a kaiju battle in it. Yeah, he said that he wasn't really interested at first when Godzilla Minus One came out, but since it was so well received, yeah, I would love to see another one by the same director. And it's kind of hard not to have another kaiju appear in it, because that's what that universe is all about, right? Now, When will it come out? Who knows? Hopefully not in 3 or 4 years, but I'd be on board for that. Yamazaki. And certainly I'd like to see what the sequel would look like. I know that Shikishima's war seems over and we've reached a state of peace and calm. Oh, you have the main character. Yeah. Well, like Godzilla is one of those things where you don't have to have the same human characters. It could be from a different viewpoint kind of thing, right? Where, yeah, maybe another monster comes up and then, yeah, you got to figure out a way. I think they'll make it work. I hope we do get to see another one. Ethan Hawke and Daniel Radcliffe, Jessica Biel. Cool, we haven't seen her in a while, have we? Strapping to scale the iconic peak of El Capitan in Batso. Batso? What? World famous cliff face for the harrowing climbing thriller Batso. Okay. A film based on the true story of 3 groundbreaking climbers who scaled the iconic peak El Capitan in Yosemite National Park in the early 1970s, or as some say, Yosemite. James, are you jabbing at some people in politics in the U.S.? Yes, I am. All right. Here's the official synopsis. In 1970, the wall of the early morning light was an unthinkable climb for larger-than-life climbing legends Warren Batso Harding and Dean Caldwell. It represented a near impossible physical and mental challenge. Okay, yeah, so they go up there and climb. Hey, yeah, we haven't had a climbing movie in a while. And where's that Cliffhanger remake that's supposed to be coming out? Where's that? Hey, I like those climbing movies because I'm somebody, like, I'll be in the theater with my palms sweating as they're gripping onto the rocks and stuff like that. I'm guessing that, what, Ethan Hawke and Daniel Radcliffe are the climbers? Jessica Biel will pack their gear. Or Jessica Biel, yeah, we know that Jessica Biel could do the physical stuff. So yeah, we just haven't seen her in a while. I liked her in, well, for me, she was the best part of Blade 3, but she's a good actress. Of course, she's married to Justin Timberlake, but whatever. You got to land with somebody, and I wasn't there to fulfill my duties, so Justin had to take it over for me. Next. Mini-series, TV mini-series. So she has been working. I just haven't seen her in anything because I don't watch these TV series because I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I don't. Guys, I watch a lot of YouTube. And I watch sports. Between YouTube and sports, I kind of I don't have time to sit down and just watch series. And if I do watch series, I watch it with you guys. But she's a good actress. Oh, yeah, that's right. She was in the, no, she wasn't in Trial of the Seven. But she can do the dramatic stuff. She's got the chops. And anyway, seeing her in a more physical climbing role again, cool. Is it listed on there? Ursa Major pre-production, Charlie. So it's not listed just yet there. Jessica Biel, cool. All right, guys. So that's pretty much all I have in my lineup. Let's go over to the Twitterverse and start trying to see if I missed anything trending out there. The first teaser for Sympathizer on Max, April 14th. I don't know what the heck that is. Sympathizer. It's going to be on Max. Dakota Johnson says she hasn't seen Madame Web yet. I don't know when I'm going to see it. Someday. So even she's kind of like, I don't know if I want to be associated with this. The thing is that, yeah, she had some of the worst dialogue ever. But she's got the presence, man. She has that presence. Fire Country. I don't know what that is. Zendaya for Doom Part 2 press. Zendaya will return to the Met Gala this year. Look at that outfit. Yeah. That's a crazy outfit right there. Let's give that the old thumbs up again. That was from last year, right? Zendaya, Jennifer Lopez, Chris Hemsworth, and Bad Bunny will serve as co-chairs for this year's Met Gala. Cool. Well, you know, J-Lo. Stunning. Hemsworth. Bad Bunny. Okay. Strawweight. UFC fighters. Lupita Nyong'o and Chloe Grace Moretz are set to play UFC fighters in strawweight. Well, you guys, you know I like Chloe Grace Moretz and Lupita Nyong'o, so that's cool. As UFC fighters, will they face off against each other? Cool. You know Hit Girl. She can do it, right? She'll win. I hope so. Strawweight. First look at BB series, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Who stars in that? A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I don't know if I like the sounds of that. Sydney Sweeney says the next leading man she'd like to work to star in with a rom-com is Paul Mescal. Not Jake Gyllenhaal? Huh. Jake Gyllenhaal covers the latest issue of GQ Korea. Dakota Johnson's attempts to name Spider-Man's movies. Okay. Denai Guerrera. Rebecca Hall. We're going to see her in the Godzilla X Kong movie, guys. She's a good actress. She really is. Morgan Spector. I don't know who that guy is. New look at Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, we saw these photos, guys. Yeah, so it's just what I suspected. That like the musical parts are all going to be in his head. They're going to be dancing on like weird sets, kind of like Poor Things, while these musical sequences go off. They're dancing on the rooftop. That's what it's going to be, guys. Havana Rose Liu and Christopher Abbott. Our new Wolfman, right? He's going to be the werewolf. I don't know who she is. Cinematographer for Folie Dieu isn't a musical per se. It just has music in it. The music part of the film and the characters, but I just don't know if it's a musical. But yes, there is music. So yeah, it's not a full musical. It's not going to be like Wicked. But musicals can land. They can. Wonka landed. Molly Shannon joins the cast for Only Murders in the Building Season 4. Michelle Yeoh to star in The Mother, directed by Melanie Laurent. How many movies are we going to be calling The Mother? Geely is coming to Criterion in March. Eesh. Amazon Prime has reportedly given a choice to Roadhouse filmmakers Jake Gyllenhaal. Make the film for $60 million and get a theatrical release, or make it for $85 million and go to streaming only. They opted for the latter. So they wanted more moolah. Well, but I don't understand. If you're going to make it for 85, I don't see the cost. Well, I guess you still have marketing, but you wouldn't have as much marketing if you went to theaters, right? If you went to theaters, they'd have to be ramping up the marketing a lot more now. I'm still going to watch it. Jennifer Lopez's This Is Me Now, the love story debuts with 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Cool. Megan 2, delayed. Yeah, we talked about that. Will Smith, Sugar Bandits, we talked about that. So it looks like we covered everything here, guys. 25 minutes. Madame Web is in theaters. Sydney Sweeney in her costume. I think people would prefer to see her in that costume. Yeah, I heard that these the outfits that they wore to the premiere were pretty racy, man. But we're never going to see her in this kind of iteration of whatever she was with her powers. Sophie Turner to star in psychological thriller Trust, who recently helmed Upgraded, huh? Well, I do like Sophie Turner. Oh, God, she's stunning. Wow. Wow. I'm going to have to save that for the old archive. Sorry, guys. Sophie Turner. Photo shoots. There we go. Save to the old Pinterest page. She just started her life. She got married and had kids too young. I'm not knocking her for that. It's just kind of like she still wanted to experience her 20s and party. That's when you're supposed to go out and do that, right? The new poster for Godzilla X Kong has been released. That's a good poster, right? They're not, you know, the reaction to the first teaser where they're running and it kind of turned into a meme. People were laughing at it. They're embracing that. And that's cool. That's good in my books. But yeah, that trailer was that latest one, guys. Go check out my reaction. That was good. Marco Ferrara, This Is Me Now, Love Story premiere. J-Lo at the premiere. Ben Affleck, Bennifer. Zendaya and Florence Pugh. Thunderbolts is now set to be released in theaters May 2nd, 2025. Yeah, we talked about that. Fantastic Four and Superman Legacy will be released in July 2024. And that's a good place to end it because that's where we started with Fantastic Four. All right. I don't know what's with that Superman dancing there, but it is kind of atrocious. What do you guys think about some of the new movie news headlines today? Let me know in the comments below and we'll talk about it. Yeah, we're ending a little bit short today, but it is what it is. There are no new trailers that dropped, I don't think. Oh yeah, there's for the Sympathizer. Eh, that's a series, isn't it? All right, thank you very much for joining me, Bifer. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am off tomorrow because I am working tomorrow. I'm working for the next 3 days, guys. So it's kind of like, I apologize. I will still try to get out some material. Pay attention later on today for my short that will get released. And then hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and join us here on Mirror Domains. Enjoy your weekend, guys. See you next time.